Let's talk about expanding your network. Let's talk about making it bigger, whether it's personal, professional, or both. A network is a wonderful web of people with whom you share mutually supportive relationships. It doesn't matter if you like networking or not. Doesn't matter. It's necessary for advancing your career and solidifying your brand. So, kind of have to get over it. What's a network? It's a web of intentionally created and connected relationships characterized by mutual support. Networking is action-oriented and it's goal-directed. It relies on human connections and human contact. It is not a one-way street that only benefits one person. It can actually be a component of a person's professional support system. So it is all about connections and support. It's an intentional activity that's rooted in a purpose. Now, you may hear that and think that that sounds self-serving. Well, it is. Networking is supposed to serve you and serve you well. In reality, it also serves the other people too. Understanding that we all have self-interest is important in understanding networking. Everybody's got some self-interest. It's also important to understand that serving our own interests does not mean that we won't help other people advance theirs. Best networking, in my opinion, offers both parties the opportunity to get and to give. A woman in an association that I belong to asked me for coffee to discuss how she can get traction on getting published. So we met. I don't drink coffee, I drink tea. I gave her ideas and I offered to introduce her to some of the editors that I work for. At the end of the conversation, she asked me if there were anything that she could do for me. I think that is among the most straightforward examples of mutually serving intentions. And it was refreshing. It was really refreshing to have someone be openly reciprocal in their networking. Let's think about the actual relationships that come from networking. Some become friendships. Some morph into allies able to advance your agenda. Others can be viable business connections that kind of keep you well informed, all kinds of relationships. No matter the relationship, no matter how it evolves, it's about getting known and getting to know others. As you think about becoming better known, you want to be known for the right reasons. Reasons like your competence, your skills, your commitment, and other positive attributes. That's what you want to be known for. As you begin to think about enhancing your network, the first question that you have to ask yourself is this: what do I want to be known for? What's my brand? Do you want to be known for your skills as a litigator? Do you want to be known for your creative approaches to problem solving? What do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as a respected authority on leadership and organization development? That's what I want to be known for. However you want to be known, think about it and be sure it's in alignment with your core values. Alignment with your core values. Be sure that what you want to be known for is something that you can realistically accomplish or live into. You can't advance your fantasy self. You have to advance who you are and can realistically become. As you develop clarity on what you want to be known for, remember, it's your brand. It conveys the essence of who you are. The next question I think you need to ask is this: who do you need to know and who needs to know you? I advise people to make a chart of the people that they want to include in their networks. There should be a column that identifies the potential contact, a column for why you want them in your network, and a column for what you have to offer to the relationship. It's also important to identify any links that you have to that person, like how are you connected like we do on LinkedIn? So let's get to the nuts and bolts of how to network. This is more than attending the obligatory cocktail parties and luncheons and dinners. Don't make the mistake of just lining up a bunch of social or business events that you're gonna attend. Don't do that, okay? Take the time to research activities and events that are interesting to you. Beyond interesting, they should also be places where you can connect with the people that you want to meet and people who may want to meet you. The guiding question here is this one. It goes back to that chart that I asked you to create. The question is, who should be in my network? Who should be in my network? Networking is at its core a learning opportunity. You'll have the opportunity to learn about another person, about their unique skills, interests, and activities, and it offers opportunities to learn about what's coming up. What are the unfolding trends? The intelligence that you gain from having a broad network of savvy insiders, that's invaluable. You'll know what's coming up, opportunities. Think of networking as a series of discoveries. You'll discover more about your industry. You may discover jobs or promotions and service opportunities. And if you're going to be a discoverer, you have to enter networking with an openness to listening and to learning. In the process, you may even discover new things about yourself. Yeah, it's all about discovery. The act of face-to-face networking, it begins with making the initial contact. If you're face-to-face, get comfortable approaching people and introducing yourself. Get comfortable asking questions. I'm not saying be nosy Rosie. Ask obvious questions like, where do you work? What's your role? They're a little weak, but if that's where you need to start there. But try some questions with more substance. For instance, you're an attorney. You may ask the other person's opinion on some proposed legislation. Let's say you're a doctor, a physician. You may ask the person about, how they're managing a particular practice management issue. Oh, let's say you're an event planner. You may ask the person what they're doing to move to virtual events, virtual meetings. Just think about questions that are beyond the surface. But if you have to start at the surface, that's fine. Ask questions that show you're well-versed and that show you're well-rounded. Engage the other person in interesting, thought-provoking conversation. Build the type of communication skills that show that you're an intelligent person with whom it's worthwhile to be connected. Steer away from the contentious topics like politics. Steer away from conflict when you're in the early stages of building a new relationship. Don't gossip. Don't give ear to gossip. If inappropriate conversations come up, it's fine to excuse yourself and move on. It's wise to do that. Get comfortable asking for support and assistance in building your network. When people say, you really need to meet so-and-so, ask that person to facilitate the connection. That's more effective than trying to cold call on someone that you want to meet. Let's move just a little forward to using LinkedIn, Doximity, and other platforms. Make the time to craft a page that reflects your purpose in your profession, highlights your experiences, and calls attention to your unique competencies. Use a current professional headshot, not a selfie that you took on your desk, and not something from 20 years ago. Be sure your writing is crisp, clear, and compelling. I have to remind myself to update my profile from time to time because I forget about it. Simply refining your presence on these platforms is not enough. Once you have a really good page, start reaching out to current and past colleagues. There are some people who think that it's a good idea to reach out to the people that you want to meet with a cold request. I don't know. I challenge that approach. To me, it's like spam, but some people say it's good. Build your network by first connecting with the people that you know or have known. Then take the time to review their contacts and see if there's somebody that you want to meet. Ask the mutual contact to make the introduction. This positions you as a credible business contact, not an electronic stalker. Yeah. There are a few unspoken common sense things that I want to add about electronic networking. Think very carefully about what you post. Whatever you post should be reflective of your brand. It should reflect the best of who you are. Pay attention to basic things like straightforward language, grammar, punctuation. Keep your politics off of your professional networking pages, unless, of course, you're a politician or a lobbyist. I believe that fewer, more powerful posts have more impact than daily musings or hourly rantings. Don't do that hourly meandering about whatever's on your mind. I just think that's a waste of time. The goal is to be strategic in any and all contact that you have with people in your network and people who have the potential to be connections. You want to be strategic. Never forget the distinction between social media used to promote your career and social media used for fun. There are distinct differences. If you have any doubts about whether you should post something, just don't post it. And don't get involved in open conflict and unproductive debates on social media. So, as you're thinking about your brand and your network, how you leave is as important as how you arrived. I want to touch on how we leave jobs. Most of us are going to transition from one position to another position because we want to or because we have to. We're going to leave at some point, but leave with grace in either case. I suggest thinking through the 3 people who have helped, supported, or encouraged you. These are going to be people that you want to keep in your network. When you leave, write a short note thanking them for whatever it is they did for you. Consider buying them a small gift as a token of your gratitude and appreciation. Look, it can be a bottle of their favorite wine, it can be a book related to their hobbies, or a gift certificate for their favorite restaurant, but just do something. Whatever you select, it should be a gift that recognizes who they are, what matters to them, and your sincere appreciation. Final note on social graces is about conduct. That means don't cuss. Control your drinking, even if everybody else is drunk. Thinking more about conduct, if you dance, don't strut your stuff with a lot of gyrating and sexy moves at a business function. In short, keep all your conduct tasteful. If you have questions about whether something is tasteful, don't do it. Just don't do it. The last thing I want to cover about networking is the package. Take inventory of your wardrobe. Be dispassionate. I suggest a stylist, having someone come work with you on refining your entire look. If that doesn't fit in your budget, buy a book or go to a website or watch a YouTube video on appearance and attire. Be the person people aren't embarrassed to be seen with. It is time to wrap up. I think we've covered the essentials of network expansion. The goal is to create more reciprocal, mutually beneficial relationships. Begin with clarity about who you are, what you bring, and who you want in your network. Then do the work to connect with those people and watch your network grow, because it is going to grow and you are going to expand your brand.